Hello,
Wow.
hello, hello, and welcome. We're sane. We're not sane, but we are
Ben
here.
10
We're
is a Power
excited
Ranger,
to
but cool.
be here. We've been gone just a little bit, but we're back, and we're gonna tell you some stories about Power Rangers and ponies and Transformers, and
Oh my.
yeah, all of that sounds really normal when you throw it in a single sentence.
Yeah, sorry for the delay. Someone blew up Matt's toilet, so we had to wait on that to get fixed.
I mean, you're joking, okay? But
No, I'm not.
no,
No,
I
I'm
was gonna
not. That's
say
what
like
happened.
the bathroom is finished, and the bath has a leak already.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And they're having to replace the floor. So we're a week in and it's already broken, guys. So yeah, Power Rangers and Transformers and ponies because this is more fun
Oh
than real
my.
life. Take it away, person in the top left corner who can't see, but his name box is now white.
Ew. Well, hello there. I am Michael. As mentioned, I'll be playing Peter, the White Ranger. We're doing pony stuff still. Sorry, panic. I'm going to try and get as much stuff as I want in this episode as possible.
What's up? I'm Panic. I really hope no one ever takes all the terrible things I say about My Little Ponies and then sends it to like a brony server. I'm not this is a bit. Like full my disdain for the My Little Pony characters is fully a bit. However, I will never let this bit die. I hate these sons of guns. What's up? I play Cal, and I am in hell.
Yeah, hi. I am Michael, and I will be playing Sarah the Pink Ranger with a little dash of
Sparks, don't you dare!
Sonic the Pony. Let's go.
Whoa. Hi
The lick
guys.
stuff.
You lick stuff. You do lick stuff. Hi guys. I'm Sabina. I play Cassidy, the Phantom Ranger, and I found something last game, so we're gonna see if we follow that.
Yeah.
What happens when you lick an arch? Let's find out.
Let's
Your tongue
not find
teleports
out.
and the rest of you
Isn't,
doesn't.
isn't that like a plot point in Stargate?
Hey, 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 ha, ha,
And
which
I
is
said,
Cybertronian.
hey,
What's
yeah,
going
yeah,
on?
yeah.
Um, it's
Good
okay. We'll
intro.
cut that out and
No, we won't.
Oh, we won't. We're live, babe.
I know. Hi, everybody. My name is Jay, and I play Q, otherwise known as the Q Show. He is the Gold Ranger now, and I might also be dabbling in the part of Cuticup, otherwise known as the Nightmare. And apparently, I lead this group of Power Rangers, in inverted commas. Apparently,
Would you say you corral these ponies?
no.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't say that
I
actually.
can't actually give you the answer that I would like to give because it's got an F-bomb in it. So.
Well, I'm Matthew. I am here to tell stories and try to avoid rolling dice because that never goes very well. Um,
I've only ever seen one person who has been like forsaken by Dice Christ in the way you have been.
Will Wheaton.
No, Brian
oh no,
Murphy.
I've never met Wheaton, but maybe
I
I've got
have.
his curse.
I have gotten his curse. It's fun.
But
Brian Murphy loves dice, and the dice do not love him.
J'adore le fromage, mais
on the last episode of Power Rangers Let There Be Thunder, the Rangers arrived on Equestria. They brought their fancy schmancy Zeozords down to fight Devastator. And despite Peter taking a little bit of catastrophic damage that almost put him out of the fight, they were really taking the upper hand. They figured
A
out pretty
little bit
quickly
of
that,
catastrophic damage.
yep, they figured
well, in
out
the
pretty
case of
quickly that if they focused on single parts, single components, it worked a lot better than just blasting away. And before they could totally destroy him, Devastator turned flipped a switch and blew up a whole stockpile of energon to kind of make his escape, leaving behind 2 broken components because, screw those guys. I'm going home. The Rangers did track down the fact that there was a arch on the planet, and that is the direction that Devastator's remaining components went to. So intriguing. And they also helped to rescue the ponies that were buried in the landslide of the explosions that Devastator caused.
The ponies and one crotchety old robot.
One very crotchety old robot with a lot of stories to tell. Cup
So many.
with a K. Has all of the war stories and fishing stories because he is that kind of robot. How did show off his Zeo Crystal, trying to see if the ponies had anything similar, and they did suggest that the local library over in Ponyville might have something intriguing. And that is where we ended off. So we've got a couple of different plot hooks to kind of follow on.
See,
And
now
it's up
I'm
to you
stuck with the
guys.
moral dilemma of like, do I go to the library and be forced to interact with more ponies? Or do I go to the arch and potentially miss out on eating this world's Zeo Crystal?
Roll for it.
2 you sent me. I'll go pick that up at some point.
So guys, which plot point do we wish to follow? What do you want to do?
All of them simultaneously.
All of them? Okay. Are you
Right,
splitting
time
the
to split
group?
the party.
No,
Split the
no.
party? You just want to master space and time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
are the new Time Lords.
I am a wizard who can travel through time.
I was going to suggest maybe the tech guys go to the gate while the others go to the library.
And split the party on a strange planet?
With
I
only-
mean,
I'm
That is
going
a
to
good
the library.
idea.
Pete, I'll see you
Take
later.
pony.
I fist bump Peep and I get in my spaceship.
you can go, examine the gate and figure out where it goes and whatnot. And you guys can find more info on everything else we need to know.
Yeah, I'm going to the library. That's like I'm getting in my hoopty and I'm going to the library.
I mean, at this point, it's almost guaranteed that whatever that thing was, he escaped. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
We established there were no other Decepticons on the planet, didn't we?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Suspicious lack of Decepticons, in fact.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's
I
been
guess
a,
it's time for some book learning. Ugh.
there's
Barf.
been a
Fine,
whole lot of
baby.
Decepticon destruction from the ponies in the past. In
I
like the
make-
very recent past. Devastator may have taken out a chunk of what was left in the explosion, but it's okay because he survived to tactically withdraw.
What a Caiaphas Kane answer. Can I roll an alertness check to see if any of these damn ponies are trying to sneak onto my spaceship?
Go for it, and you guys can tell me if any of your ponies are trying to.
And
sneak
that,
onto
but
the
now that you
spaceship.
put in the world,
Yeah,
yes.
now that you put it in the world,
You
Kels
said it.
definitely is.
Critical 24?
I mean, I can do that.
Did you?
Did not do that.
I could, but I'm not.
Do I have a pony sheet? Do I have a pony sheet?
Kelsey has shit. Oh, so close. Nah, Kelsey totally got caught.
trying very hard to be diplomatic because I know at least 5 people who would be very cross with me if I started hitting things.
Oh, I do. Oh, I can do that. I don't have dice for my pony. This is.
I hope your lack of pony specific dice makes this roll terrible.
I will use this one.
I hope you use your Q dice and then the Q dice is cursed.
I'm not using my Q dice. I'm not that. I'm bonkers, but you know. Oh! It was a 4 on the D4, but I only rolled a 2 on my D20, so that's just
critical 6. Woo!
Go get on someone else's ship.
You're no fun, Francis.
They actually want you around.
They gasp.
I'm pretty sure I've made my feelings very clear.
Yeah. Fly away. Let's lean
Yep.
over. That's why it's fun.
It is fun.
We're splitting the party, and we're sending some people to do book shit and some people to do gate stuff.
Yep.
Okay. So who is going which way?
Peter and Kevin will join the gate party.
Cassidy is definitely Team Gate.
Cow is
I
off
was
to the
hitting the
library.
books. Yep.
I was just gonna like explore whatever town they live in. I'm not good at the books or the tech, really. So I'll be a
So you should just
diplomatic
check out
liaison
Ponyville.
to an alien life form. That's what's happening. Yeah. I'm the ambassador from Earth. Thank you.
Anybody else concerned about that?
Oh yeah.
This
There would
won't be a
Q
problem.
lecture. No fighting, no biting, no shooting, no scratching, no pulling hair.
I'd like to make one addendum.
Little puppy head floats
to
up.
the rules.
Licking.
I'll allow it.
I'd like to make one addendum to the rules. Do not sneak them onto the mothership. Please.
What about just outright giving them permission to join the crew?
Please don't do that either. Any scenario that ends with one of these
Do any of you
creatures
sing or play instruments?
on the ship
Sonic
will make
Legends.
me freak out. I am going to freak out. Sarah, I'm sorry I didn't call you my best friend that one time I was in dire emotional straits. Please do not do this.
As long as you learn your lesson.
I am going to freak out. I'm gonna lose it.
But yeah, no, I'll get the what for on what's been going on with all of this while you're reading and you two are poking at things with screwdrivers, I guess. That's what you do, right?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
And Q?
Is violently panicking about which way to go. I don't trust anyone.
How do I lead her? Oh god.
So
is there
much to
not two of me?
micromanage. They're all such hot messes.
Right. I want everybody to email me every 20 minutes. If I
Email.
message you, I need you to respond back to me to let me know that you've received the message and that you've read it.
Thank you for using email. As you know, I don't have a smartphone.
Yeah.
But we have headset communicate.
It's the thought that counts.
I'm trying to be inclusive, Sarah. I will follow Team Gate just because I think there's a bigger risk there. Shenanigans in isolation. Whereas if something goes wrong with books, there'll be ponies nearby. If something goes wrong with interspecies relations, then
The then there's not really a lot you could have done in the first place.
No.
If that
I'm not the
operation
shortcut.
fails, we're already screwed. Like,
Yeah. So yeah, I'll go gate.
Take me to your leader.
oh no.
Oh no.
All right, time to get to that library double time before
Never
we're
works
kicked
well.
off the planet.
Okay. So, what are we going to do first? We are going to go to
Three
the
people at the
library
gate.
first.
Oh, all right.
We're going to go to the
So-
library first. You head to the library, guided by
Intuition.
a swath of destruction through the forest that leads directly to the town of Ponyville. It doesn't
This is
have
nice.
like big signs up or anything, but you can see it's a fairly large sized town. There's lots of ponies wandering around through it, and as your ship kind of comes closer, these ponies instantly begin to act alarmed. Some take to the skies, flying in different directions, and are beginning to warn others. You see
looking
some
for a-
in blue
I'm looking for a
uniforms.
parking garage. Do I see one?
You do see one.
What?
It's not
Wait,
big
hold-
enough. It's not big enough for your ship, but there is a door. I'm going to say it's like open probably about half a foot, but it leads to the lab that two very specific ponies were using for their tinkering with.
Corpses.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was fully expecting you to tell me. It's like, no, they don't have parking garages. They're ponies. They can just sprint or fly or magic
Hey.
everywhere. Why do they need cars?
They have
There are
vehicles
cars
as well.
here?
They have
This is-
vehicles too.
Somehow
The
Sonic
depths of
has
this
cobbled
purgatory
together
get deeper.
a sign, just a giant sign that just says, "Don't worry, gang. It's all good."
Just writes it in clouds.
The panic, the blue uniformed individuals with bright yellow goggles on, they stop dispersing and heading off in different directions, circle up and meet close towards the middle of town, where Cal, you're directed to land in an empty field.
I do so.
And I'm going to say Sarah, led
We'll probably
by
land nearby.
yeah,
We're
led
both going to
by
town. Yeah.
exactly. There's no leader per se in Ponyville, but they all seem to be very interested in these strange two-legged, very relatively hairless individuals
I
who
mean, they
seem
can't
to
tell
be
that.
wearing who
As far
seem
as
to be
they're
wearing well, as far as they're concerned,
we're fully hairless.
exactly. As far as they're
We're made of
concerned, you're
lycra.
completely covered in this strange
mean, like-
armor and yeah.
I mean, when Sarah steps off out of the cockpit and just power down.
God. I'm
Instantly suffocates.
I'm emailing Q
I already took my helmet off. Like,
last session.
so yeah.
I email Q.
I
Sarah did it again.
email you.
Oops, she did it again.
Yeah.
She did it again.
It's just like an ASCII picture of Britney.
A Pegasus flying upside down approaches you and it's just, "Hi, who are you? Why do you look like that? Why are you only walking on two legs? That's very strange."
Approached her, right? Okay,
This is
cool.
delightful.
I'm headed to the libraries. I'm gonna let you take that. I'm out of here.
I am the ambassador from Earth, so I got it.
What is Earth? Is that like mud and dirt and rocks and stones and
You bring up a good point. Why did we name our planet Mud? It's always, yeah.
It's not. We named our mud after our planet. It's the other way around.
But we are the Power Rangers of Earth. At least I'm one. That grumpy one, there's another one. There's a couple more that went to look at
I'm like
a thing.
sprinting off into the distance.
Yeah.
Just look at books.
He's gonna go try to find your library. You might want to send a guide. I don't know.
What do I roll to
Otherwise, he's just
find
gonna
the
go into
library?
someone's house and read their books.
Make me a alertness.
I was gonna say survival.
Is it alertness or streetwise? Possibly. Possibly.
I had Streetwise once upon a time, but then I optimized this character. So here comes
Then I
the
took
character.
it.
14. Good
You
enough.
you follow the roads because yes,
The
there
library
are
is just
roads,
Twilight's house.
and you do. As you're looking around, you do find one building that seems to be a little bit bigger than the others. It's bigger on all dimensions. It's wider, it's taller, it's longer. It's just got some nice,
Find-
impressive stairs. And as you
I
head
find
up
the
them,
LA Public Library, but
Yeah.
in Pony.
exactly. And as you head up those stairs and into the doors, you find a purple pony standing before you. She's just pushed some books back to where they belong on a cart. Green hair that falls down one side of her face, a pair of glasses on, and a green tail as well. That's both the hair and the tail fringed with black.
Now, it is a real dang shame that I am the only character here. Because I'm going to ignore this person wholesale and I'm just going to go into this library.
Just ignore the librarian.
Do not make eye contact.
As you try to move around, she just kind of clops and sort of shifts back and forth from the left to the right just to put herself in front of you. She's like, hello.
I find 90 feet up. Shoop, shoop. Suddenly I'm gone.
Well, that's very strange. Do you need help finding a book?
I'm good. Everything is fine.
Okay. She kind of goes back to putting books away one by one, but wandering around the library the whole time, just trying to keep an eye out for this very strange yellow-clad individual who...
At some point, probably right away, it becomes less about finding the book and more about hide and seek, with an emphasis on not being found.
Make me an infiltration check.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best, bro. Like, I'm gonna try. That wasn't a D12, but the other one. All right, so that's a 4 and a 9, so it's a 4. I rolled a D12 instead of a second D20, but it didn't really matter because the actual D20 was a 4. So like, I just had to see if I got worse.
I got a 5 and a 6.
You
win.
Yeah,
Just
you
about.
win.
This purple
I want to swear at you, but I shouldn't.
pony who is clearly a librarian just pops down one of the aisles of books and, excuse me, strange, just what are you doing under there? Just that pile of books is to go away. It's not somewhere to hide. You could damage those, and some of those are hundreds of years old.
Very carefully excavate myself to the books and keep going. Because just because this is Cal's hell doesn't mean he has to ruin someone else's life.
Now, do you need help with something? Are you looking for a specific book? Are you just trying to
No.
cause trouble today? Or
I'm doing none of those things.
you're just running through my library?
I'm trying to avoid you, if I'm being honest.
And what exactly have I done to you?
Feels rude to say exist, but exist.
It would be rude to say exist.
I'm gonna keep looking for my book now, and then I turn up. I'm gonna keep doing that. This is how Cal gets kicked out of the public library.
Make
How
me.
it's causing intergalactic incidents.
Yep.
You
Make
don't know
me-
that. You can't report that. You're busy.
Make me an alertness check for Cal. I'm gonna say with a downshift. You have
Yeah.
no idea about the organization system of these books. You don't even know what this book is called.
That is a 15.
You go through.
I'm I'm starting at like elementary school reading level. I'm going for picture book that has picture of crystal. Moving up from there, similar. I'm trying to I'm finding the
It's
system.
just like a
you know?
geology book, and just keep
Yeah, exactly.
flicking through to find
It's like,
different bits
all
and
right,
pieces.
here's a children's story that involves a crystal that gives them life energy. Here's a cross reference to a different book, like a middle school book. Here's an actual geology textbook. I'm moving up the ranks.
And let's say the librarian keeps following you, but doesn't say anything. At this point, she's just kind of she's curious. She wants to know what you're looking for. B, she's maybe a little bit concerned that you are up to no good. Although you don't seem to be necessarily, you're kind of weird.
Honestly, it's a good instinct.
And C, really at this point, she just wants to know what you are actually looking for. And we're going to see how Sarah is doing with her ambassadoring, because that is now a word, people. Ambassadoring. So you have this Pegasus just flying upside down still, circling you slowly, checking you out. It's just... Where are your other two legs?
I mean, I suppose if you want to get like weird and technical about it, it's my arms would be in. I'm not a science major, but yeah, 2 legs really.
And how do you... But that doesn't make sense. How do you walk? Like,
We fall forward a lot. That's basically we just rolling, falling, and catching yourself. It's a weird evolutionary thing. I remember that from class. I'm Sarah. You are
I'm Pixie.
Pixie. Delightful to meet you.
I am delightful to be met.
Yep. So, what do you call this place?
This is home.
Fair enough.
Not the distant Michael laughing in the distance.
There, any other name?
Oh,
Idea.
Ponyville.
Oh, okay. Does your planet have a name?
We've never really... I mean, the continent is Equestria,
Continent Sequestra. Okay.
but
Valid. All right. Yeah, that's fair.
we've never really
Equestria.
named the planet.
I'm sensing a theme.
Maybe the planet's Equestria?
Planet and the continent. Why not? I mean, call it now. Hear your choice. It's going in the books. It's gonna be real.
Equestria.
All right. Planet Equestria. Got it. Could have been Bob, and that would have been awkward.
Planet
Nope,
Bob?
we've got one of
Who
those
would
using
name
your
a
name.
planet Bob?
Some really weird people.
Just intensely sweating inside the suit.
So what brings you to Ponyville?
We got a distress call. People needed help.
Cool.
Someone was screaming for help really loud through space.
Nope.
We heard.
Nope. Don't don't know.
Well, we already took care of it. Yeah, it was
Oh,
yeah. Where's Cup in all this? Did he just stay back there or
Cup is still back at the battlefield,
course he
still
is.
telling a story,
Okay.
not realizing that anybody's actually
everyone
left.
is left?
Yeah, he's just sitting there. It's just kind of like leaning on his and just rattling off. And there was this one time I beat a Decepticon with his own sword, took off his arm at the shoulder and beat him with his own arm. And he sort of looks around and he's like, oh,
Oh my.
everybody's gone. Okay, well, kind of rude.
I was gonna point to someone who's not here. Maybe he could have answered some of the other questions, but there was a very large metal man who was doing bad things, and a slightly smaller metal man, and these ponies here were in danger or needed help. So we did what we do.
Well, that's mighty kind of you, coming all the way from Earth,
Yeah, Earth. Yeah,
Earth, and just
Yar.
fighting
Earth.
giant metal men. Do you fight giant metal men often on Earth?
Metal, not so much. Giant, fairly often.
Did they come from Earth?
No, sometimes. There was a giant woman once. She was melty and kind of.
Don't you put that song back in my head?
I also had it in my head just now because he said it.
I think maybe we contact the Queen, see if she can.
Yes, your leader. Take me. Delightful.
We'll see if she can come out here to see you. Yeah, I need to go see a dragon.
What?
Don't tell Pete.
I need to go see a dragon to send some mail.
You have
Don't you
dragons
send-
here too?
Yeah, how else would you send mail?
I mean, if I had dragons, I would absolutely use them for the postal service. Yeah. I love this place.
And whilst this is all going on, in all of its eccentricity, we have.
Oh yeah, and about 30 seconds later, like they start walking, or it's fully Disney princess song break. Like we just cut away from like Sarah and the ponies just singing as they give
Just
her a
wandering
tour of
through
the back.
Ponyville, just singing songs.
Yeah. Like,
Just full on bell going on.
Da,
Yeah.
da, 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 da. I know that's not from that, but that's what's going through my head right now. We pan over to a clearing in the forest. It's clearly, air quotes, man-made, as in you can see the destruction that's been wrought. Trees have been knocked down and torn roots from the ground. You can see wheels and tracks that have carved a road towards this arch that now lays in the open.
Mhm.
You're maybe 50 feet from it.
Is it active?
It is not active, no.
Good.
Go on, Peter.
Sorry, just quickly, how long does Zord repairs take?
So Zord repairs, there's not a time attached to it. It kind of happens out of scene.
Cool. Just figuring
a
out.
narratively appropriate amount of time.
Yeah.
I was
How
trying
much
to decide.
health did your Zord have left?
Not a lot. Not a lot at all. 2.
I will say,
Ooh.
once it's returned to the ship and spent some time in stasis, it will be repaired. So it's whether or not you want to leave it to do so now.
Yeah, I'd probably say Pete would have sent it back to the ship for repairs, and if it's okay with Cassie, he'll hitch a ride in Wanda because she has crew compartment.
I have space.
Cassidy, you do hear Wanda just because he's not green anymore doesn't mean we like him, remember?
Wanda, he's a person and we like him.
You like him.
One of those is true.
He's a good person. You just don't like the Dragon Zord.
And he likes the Dragon Zord. What does that
You
tell
really
Pete was
need to-
pretending he couldn't hear until this point. He's like, that's because the Dragon Zord is a good boy.
Wanda, you and the Dragon Zord need to sit down and have a talk and figure out your shenanigans.
Well, I would if it wasn't stuck inside the extra dimensional space now, wouldn't I? Because it almost got destroyed.
Excuses.
Working on it.
Talk to Brad.
Excuses. And then can I do a scan on the can I like tap into the Archgate and figure out the last location that it transmitted to?
You can indeed. Make me a cultures or technology grid law check, please.
Heck yeah. You know what? I'm gonna use this one and
Can I
this
provide
one.
assistance at all?
You want to give me an upshift?
You?
You got culture?
Oh, is it cultures? Never
Yeah.
mind
Well,
then.
screw you. I got a 5. I rolled really badly. My amethyst dice is put in dice
You
jail
did roll
now.
really
Good-
badly, but remember
Do your
you
reroll thing.
can do your reroll thing.
We
With
are
your
back
two
up on story
upshifts.
points, correct?
You are indeed.
Then I will do that. And that gives me 2 upshifts. And I'm specialized. Where did I don't know where my coin went. I will find another one.
Just flip a table.
Just flip a table. That's how that works.
Yeah, literally just flip the
Hey!
table, see what happens.
Critical 10.
Critical 10.
Why did I roll that same dice, Matt?
Oh no, I don't know.
Because it was in my hand. But it is a critical 10. I got a 4 on the D4.
You're able to use your arch key to tap into the gate and to work out that it was opened to a planet, not one you've been to before,
Mhm.
but one you've heard of.
Mhm.
A strange planet quite far away from where you are, where racing takes place.
Do I know the name of this planet?
Make me another cultures check, not grid law this time.
Okay. I still have a D4. $19.
The planet is called Velocitron.
Can you drop that in chat for me? Because there's no way I know how to spell that. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, I totally would have spelled that wrong.
I've posted it in both chats just so that anybody else can see it as well. And it's literally the planet as you're aware of from your 19. I'm going to say it is, yeah. It's basically a planet that is just think NASCAR,
Mhm.
like 24/7.
Okay.
And they have lots of different like races for everything. If they want to choose a new leader, race.
classic video
What's
game,
for dinner?
F-Zero.
Race.
Race.
It's like Mad Max Fury. It's like
Oh,
Mad Max on
100%. Yeah.
steroids.
Yeah.
F-Zero.
Racing.
Any decision made, race to figure out what the best, who wins, they get to make
Yeah.
decisions.
The plot of F-Zero.
You said to me, you said a planet where they have a race for everything, and my brain was like egg and spoon race.
Those races suck. So I'm guessing that this planet is, it's since using Arcade is very far away. So I'm gonna give this information to Pete and Q. And then, okay, guys, I have a crazy idea. To keep this planet safe from further incursion of Decepticons, what if we shut down the Archgate?
I mean, it's like you almost read my mind.
Like
but
it's currently off, but I want to try to disable it.
rather than disable it, though, is there any way to shut down its connection to the gate on the other end so that we could potentially still use it?
Yes, but that doesn't stop them from using a gate from another source. If this gate's open, it leaves this planet vulnerable to any other Archgate around the entire galaxy.
Good point, but I don't know.
And now that we know
feel
this
like
planet's
they could
here,
use it for
we
us.
can get here with our Zords. It'll take a while, but we know it's here. We can get here with our Zords. We have a spaceship. We can get here if they need help again. It's just we won't. And I don't think Earth has an Archgate. So
Are you broadcasting that to everyone?
I can now. I can't. I'm currently just talking to Peter and Q, but getting their opinions since they're right here with me, but I can broadcast it to everybody.
Is
Yeah.
it portable?
Sorry, I missed that.
Is it portable?
How big is a gate?
They're pretty damn big, right, Matt? They're like
the ship would fit through, like your ships would
Yeah.
fit through the gate, not the big
They're-
ship that you came in on, but your ships, your Zords would fit through the gate. And it's
Oh.
not just so much that it's big, it's connected to the planet. Not like structurally, it's part of it, kind of feeds off the planet.
Never mind.
So pretty much our options are take off and nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure, kind of disconnect.
that or Phantom Ranger stuff.
Question. So we know that the rest of Devastator ran off through the portal to Velocitron.
Yes.
That seems to be the
If
case.
if we know where he went, is it possible that they're causing trouble there as well? So before shutting down the gate, do we maybe want to use it?
I mean, he probably went to lick his wounds. I didn't mean lick me.
You can lick
Oh,
wounds.
But it's a free action.
If he's gone back to a planet of his own people, I think they're probably more geared up to either handle his shenanigans rather than necessarily need immediate protection from his shenanigans. Whereas if he had ran to some other random planet inhabited by non-Cybertronians, non-big robot men. Do I know they're Cybertronians? I do know that.
Yeah.
I speak Cybertronian, so you'd think I'd know that. If he'd run off to a different planet, then I might agree. Let's run through and go and save them. But if he's back with his own kind, they're probably
Good point. Might outnumber us a little bit.
yeah.
Make me an
Yeah,
alertness check, all three of you.
Yes, sir.
As the gate falls over.
Is
and
this
crushes us
perception
all
based
together.
or sound based?
Perception based.
We've heard from both vibe check and a little bit from that the guy who talks a lot that there's like factions. There's the Autobots and the Deceptibots or whatever, right?
There's I can't say that.
Like we have to assume that that giant guy we beat the crap out of is probably a Deceptibot. So what if he went to a planet like if he went to a world of Deceptibots, then maybe we should go beat them all up. Lol.
Yeah, again, harkening back to Q. Maybe going to I was maybe a little bit foolhardy. Going to a planet full of robots that might want to back him up and kill us isn't probably the best idea.
Especially a planet full of them.
No, fair.
I mean,
I don't know.
Q to cup.
Yes. I mean, yes.
Yes.
Hello.
This planet Velocitron, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is very friendly and unlikely to tolerate the Decepticon shenanigans, and 1 is very hostile and likely to reinforce Decepticon shenanigans, where does Velocitron sit?
And just to check, you asked Cutie Cup.
No, I asked Cup.
Oh, Cup's
Cup
still
with a K.
back. Cup's still back on the battlefield. He was
Yeah,
reminiscing.
I still have a finger in my
sorry.
ear.
My
That means that
apologies.
I'm using my radio. Yeah.
Sorry.
The international symbol for I'm calling you, bud.
Yeah, I'm calling you, buddy.
So, beep, 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 beep.
You, my brain needs vegetating. I just need
I
to
know.
go like lay down for a
My
month.
brain can't cope. Whenever
Yeah.
you say cup, I'm like, but Cutie Cup's not doing anything.
That's why I was, yeah.
But then having to talk about Q and cup in the same sentence, it just makes it worse. It's like, who named this person?
Okay.
What monster did that?
You see that you see there's it's a fun little planet. I've raced there a few times in the past myself, even won a few trophies, and anybody can go there, anybody can race. Mostly it's folk like us, folk transformers, but anybody with a ship, anybody with a vehicle who wants to join in can join in. But sorry, lad, what was the question again?
How friendly is it in terms of 1, not at all, it's a Decepticon haven, to 10, it's very friendly and Autobots will not tolerate his shenanigans?
It's like a 3.5.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, bye.
It's kind of like, and he's carried on talking even though the connections. It's just like, it's kind of
Yeah,
like everything goes,
volume
and as long as you win the
Turn the
race,
volume
you
right
get to kind of
down.
make the. And he doesn't realize that again. He's just talking to himself.
Poor Cup.
Yeah, so it's not friendly. Let's not go there.
Right.
Sounds good.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So, are you shopping?
No, I am not. I can equivocally say that I am not shopping.
Cassidy, you notice just before it actually occurs, but you notice a build-up of energy signaling the gate is about to open. The arch is about to open.
Uh-oh. Guys, the gate's about to open.
Run to his sword.
Okay, it's now or never. Then I guess should we try and shut this thing down?
How fast is it opening?
Oh, no, it's opening. It's opening.
It's opening?
Like yeah.
I don't think I can shut it down when it's opening.
It might
Hopefully
not
it's
be something
friendly.
bad coming
I'm
through.
not in a great position to like run off
Can
right now.
I do another scan to see what's coming through or where it's opening from? No.
Not what's coming through. I'll say you can try to scan where it's opening from.
Okay. That's another cultures.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still in our Zords, or have we got out?
I
Pete's,
think I had to get out. Did I
Yeah.
have to get out to do the scan?
I would say to be close enough and everything else, unless you were parking Wonder like right next to it to interact with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out.
Pete's
Yeah,
Sword is obviously
God,
Oh.
freaking dang it!
Freaking kicking.
It's a 6, a critical 6, but it's 6.
It's up to you
Dice
if you
hate
want
me
to
today.
re-roll or whether or not you want to keep the story points.
I'm gonna say no for story purposes that I'm uh trying to track down where it's coming from, but it's opening too fast.
Yeah. Like it's open and you had enough time to kind of like direct anybody out of the way.
Yeah.
Try
And
and
I'm
do,
like just off to the side of the gate.
as the gate stabilizes and opens, you see just a shimmering field of blue, and then you see 3 individuals walk through it. The first 2 are fairly large, one very yellow, not quite as big, maybe still standing about 12 foot, 13 foot tall. The second is probably about twice that, mostly grey, red, and blue. And then behind them, still large, but looking remotely or remarkably out of place, is a more humanoid looking individual. They see Pete, they see Cassidy, and I say the more humanoid of the 3, having been practicing this particular line, utters the lovely words that I'm going to ask Michael to say because he says it oh so well.
Weep, grand, weep, Ninibon.
And you're just filled with this feeling of everything's okay. We come in peace. Hi, how
we
are you?
have Cinnabon.
Oh, I thought it's an about. Thank you.
The more humanoid of the 3 takes off a helmet, and you see a very human looking face. He pops his helmet underneath his shoulder. It's got silver to it on the visor. And other than that, he looks remarkably like some sort of astronaut or even potentially a Power Ranger.
I was gonna say Pete leans over to like Q and Cassidy, like, is the small one a Power Ranger? Well, small one a Power Ranger?
You said he looks human?
Is the visor picking up, like, you know, like we see the colors for like the Ranger on people that are Rangers? Is he appearing silver or
No. I'm saying, in fact, it's really the visors, the technology inside the visor is really struggling to pick him out. Almost as if he doesn't quite belong where he is.
Pete just tapping on his helmet? Like, this doesn't seem right.
Flap.
This is most peculiar.
Cassie will kind of pause for a moment. Do you speak English?
We have
She'll ask everybody.
the World Wide Web. Sorry.
Are y'all good? Do you need help?
We just got some visitors through the gate. They look like Cybertronians and a human.
Pete will converse in Cybertronian.
Symbols.
He would say, "Hi, I am Peter. Who are you?"
The tallest of the three just says, "I am Ultra Magnus."
Oh, I thought it was going to be someone else. I got
Yeah, I
excited.
did too.
We have received a signal from this planet, from one of our own. We did not expect to find humans.
Kind of beat you to it, bud.
I think one of our friends is a friend of one of your friends, and they got a distress signal, and here we are.
friend, or your friend, or your
And sum up. Just Autobot,
exposition.
yeah. Autobot signal came to help. Helped.
Devastated, even.
Still in Cybertronian, people ask them if they speak English.
Ultra Magnus switches over to English and is just, "I am glad that you were able to arrive here in time. Devastator can cause much devastation when he loses the plot."
Did I
Yeah,
hear
my
a
thought
joke?
took a bit of a thrashing.
Is Bumblebee.
Called it.
And the third one goes, and I'm Andronicus, but you may call me Andy.
What?
How canon is this? Is this like the time you made him the DM and none of us believed you?
Yes.
I hate you.
Hi,
Crossover.
Andy. Question: that armor you're wearing, what is it?
It's very snug. And he turned around.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we can see that.
The juiciest bubble butt.
Yo, my cake sense is tingling. What's happening over there?
Got some Cybertronians, and one looks a human, I think.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, there's talk of a party later today if you want to bring everyone over.
okay. Where at?
Ponyville.
Oh, Ponyville. Hey, does anybody know what this planet's called?
Equestria.
Oh, thanks. Well, I was just informed that this planet's called Equestria. New planet. Hi. Hi. We're the Power Rangers. I don't know what I'm doing. Somebody take this away from me. I give it back.
The ambassador is busy currently.
Give it to somebody else. Peter, you take it.
So, you guys had access to the gate?
Yes, we travel using the transwarp bridge.
Cassie, are you transwarp bridge?
Yeah.
Cassie, are you able to did they come from Velocitron or have they come from somewhere else?
Why would we have
Just
come
ask
from
him.
Velocitron?
Oh, I tracked we call it an archgate. But I tracked the signature and Devastator went to Velocitron.
You hear Bumblebee in the background. He's not really whispering. He's a bit too big, too loud to be whispering, though he kind of
Stage
leans, yeah, he leans closer to Andronicus. He's just like, "Archgate, it doesn't even look like an arch. Do these humans know geometry?"
Hey, I didn't name it. Okay.
The education system on the planet is sometimes a little rough around the edges, or it certainly is on my version of our planet, but it's mostly an approximation. If you look at it from the right angle and you kind of squint, it looks a little bit like an arch. It's also not a gate because there's nothing that swings and goes when you open it. So just go with it. It's a
Very specific. The direct specifications required for something to be a gate.
In Andronicus's mind, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
see,
like-
like the armor around Bumblebee's faceplate will kind of crinkle as his eyes do kind of squint.
Trying to
as
look at it
tilts
from a
his
certain
head.
angle.
He's just
It's like-
trying
The
to find that
shade.
angle. He's
The
just
shade that is being thrown from Cassidy right now at these two is just immense.
Also remember that they are a figurative and creative species.
Creative in
so
quotation
they
marks.
think slightly
Makes-
differently to the way that we do.
My species
Andronicus mentioning his version of Earth, you'll see Pete visibly like rubbing his helmet where like the
The
crown
bridge
of his nose, like the bridge of his nose would be. He's just like, "Oh, not another parallel universe." Did you say your version of the world?
Yes,
What?
but please don't try to think about it because I've discovered that human brains tend to go poof and more kind of squidge if you think too hard. So if you can smell the smell of burning apple pie, then you should probably lay down and take a deep breath.
No, it's not our first time dealing with a
I
parallel.
definitely smell apple pie, but it's not burning.
Then you are probably okay, disembodied voice from somewhere else.
Somewhere off comms looking at books, Cal is just like, pie.
As the cartoon,
Oh.
like pie.
Yeah,
Get-
ching, 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 ching,
Dude.
ching, ching, extra wedges.
Okay.
Instead of beckoning me like a typical cartoon pie, it beats me up and takes me to the pie.
Well, I was informed that there's a party in Ponyville later. I think that's the closest town. If you guys want to join, otherwise, I don't know. I don't know. I'm very confused.
I am also a bit confused. Ultramagus, why are we here again?
Andronicus. We are here to save Cup, although it does appear that these humans already did so.
So now we're here to save the humans from Cup and his endless stories.
It would be a good idea for us to take him away before he does.
Well, I don't love the way that you phrased that, but yeah.
Yeah, he's that way.
Oh, hang on, I've got his signal. And I tune into his frequency and turn his volume back up. Is he still talking about Velocitron?
He is. He's talking about this one time where he actually became the leader of Velocitron after winning a series of races. And I tried to take them into a more civilized society where we raced less and we fought more Decepticons. But all they wanted to do was race. And honestly, they really didn't care about the whole Autobot
Attention!
Decept.
But even as I became the leader, every rule I tried to implement, they made me race again.
It was exhausting.
Bumblebee kind of moves a few paces closer towards Ultra Magnus and elbows him in the hip joint. He's just, you have to say the thing. Say the thing. And Ultra Magnus looks at him warily and just Autobots transform and roll out.
Oh,
I just felt a strange tingle when I heard that. That was
Someone
really
just
exciting.
someone just looks at Bumblebee and is like, "I liked you better when you only talked through car radio."
Why did I have that thought?
You see Ultra Magnus transform into a fairly large, what appears to be, to your eyes, almost like a car transporter, except there are weapons everywhere. Rocket launchers, blasters. Maybe it could carry somebody to safety, another transformer, but it's basically just weapons.
All right, so a typical American APC.
Yeah, 100%. Bumblebee's a little bit sportier, a little bit quicker, but again, still blasters left, right, and center. These are two robots that are very much ready for for war. Andronicus,
Yes.
what do you do when the order to
Andronicus turns
transform
into
and
a
roll out
man.
happens?
He turns into a human.
I become a
Becomes a
very large
sleigh.
hairdryer. No. I'm wrestling in my mind with, does he get into one of the other Cybertronians, which is obviously a possibility.
Mhm.
He puts on a pair of shades and puts one wheel on
Yeah, he
Bumblebee, and it's like
he becomes
peels
Father
out.
Christmas. Yeah.
Turns into a sleigh.
Yeah.
I said that
I mean,
already.
we're on Equestria. It should probably turn into a reindeer.
Nah, you're a sleigh pulled by one mechanical reindeer.
I think he'd probably just turn into his alt mode Zord form, or Zord form in alt mode. So he becomes Zord sized, which is huge, large, towering.
Humendous.
I think for you it is towering because you've got some size boosts on there.
Yeah.
But
in rather than being in humanoid mode, he goes into in human mode, he goes into robot mode, which also has his aerial shift, so he can fly. Basically, he's like an Evangelion but with wings.
and
This one doesn't look standard.
But this robot man turned into a big robot. Is that a Zord?
I don't know.
you see the three of them take off towards where Cup was, leaving you behind at the gate, which is no longer open. But we're gonna flip over to see how Cow is doing with his research as the librarian just follows behind. Make me another alertness check, please.
Downshift.
I'm going to say no downshift on this one because as you're walking along,
I figured it out.
as the librarian
This.
kind of now knows that you're looking for something in particular, she's kind of like, "Oh, have you tried this row over here?" And there's a few books over.
Well, it's very clear that she's sabotaging me because I just rolled an 8. I'm about to blow up.
You find more books on geology. No, you don't find anything that you're particularly looking for. You don't find anything on specific gems that look zeocrystally. But more geology books, more rocks, more locations on Equestria.
Damn it.
You know, if you told me what it was you were looking for, I do know every one of these books. Well, not by heart, but I do know the location of all of them. And I'd be happy to help you out.
It doesn't show up in my camera when I do my eye twitches, but my eye is twitching. It would help if you left me alone.
But then we wouldn't learn to be friends like this. And friendship is magic.
Is there any like self-control roll? any of these stats are roll for calming the down. Animal handling.
Animal handling check versus your willpower.
Yeah, I'm doing it to myself.
Just roll me a flat d20 against your willpower or your
that's not
your
good.
willpower or your cleverness.
Wait. So to be clear, if I roll lower than my willpower or my cleverness, I flip out.
You might you lose your temper a little bit.
So, because I would think it's the other way around. Where if I don't beat my willpower, then my willpower wins, which means I don't flip out.
I suppose it's like an attack, isn't it? So No, if it's underneath your willpower or your cleverness, you're good. If it's over, then you kind
Okay.
of
So, in order to not cause, it's not even international, interplanetary incident, I have to roll lower than a 17. Shouldn't be too hard. It's just a d20. It's not very good odds.
20.
It's not very good odds. Ooh, baby. That's a 16. I'm good. I would like to think that I break my thumb. Like,
it's just like
I put my thumb in the fist and then just break it to focus on anything but what is happening here. I'm gonna take 3 damage if that's all right with you, Matt.
you're just gonna knock yourself unconscious.
No, but I just feel like, look, it's a Power Ranger gripping his own thumb with all of his
Go
power.
for it. Go for
Yeah.
it.
I've dealt. Actually, I only do 1 damage normally, and I didn't even crit, so I've taken damage because that's what I need to stay alive.
You may, in fact, have also taken some emotional damage in the inflicting of physical damage, but the pony continues to follow you, unaware of what you've done, and just.
I'm now favoring my right arm instead of my left. Cal is a lefty.
My name's Millie. What about you?
I've basically gone catatonic. I'm non-responsive. I'm like, do not yell at the alien. If you yell at the alien, your team will get in trouble.
I said, Millie. Hello? Are you okay? Can you hear me?
Do not scream into the void. If you scream into the void, you might get kicked out of the library because you gotta be quiet in the library.
Make me one more alertness check, please.
God, if you're out there. hey, God, it's your
God,
boy.
It's me, Cal.
It's your boy. Please let me out of here.
God, it's me, Margaret.
Hey, God, it's me, Fiona.
I feel like he's been forsaken.
Yep.
That's an 8, Matt.
Betrayal.
Age is great.
You wander around a corner, and as you do, you see a book. It's not on a shelf, it's actually on a table. The book is sealed, but it's fairly large. It's about 3 foot by 1.5 feet.
3 foot book.
And
damn,
on the front of it is just this shimmering crystal, or at least a replica of this shimmering crystal design.
If anyone listening is familiar with Mob Psycho 100 and how his emotions build up on a percentile from 0 to 100 before he goes absolutely nuts, Cal is hovering around a 98 and finding this book drops him down to a 50. Thanks, Ordon.
Thanks to your handy dandy communicator / morpher / the multi-device of many things, you can read the writing, and you see the words "elements of harmony" on the page or on the cover.
I mean, that sounds about right for what I'm looking for, right? Like, they're not obviously all going to be called Zeo crystals. We just came, like, Ninjor was just like, that's what they are. And then, but he's not everywhere at once. He can't, he's not, he might be the authority, but just because he's the authority doesn't mean everyone knows who he is.
Nope.
They can call them whatever they want when they belong on their planet. All right. Elements of harmony. What am I looking at?
Oh, you're looking for those? Oh, well, I could have spared you a lot of time and effort if you'd have just said you wanted a book on the elements of harmony. It's there's probably
65.
about 4 of those in this library.
72.
Are you looking for the? How can I help?
I'm reading this book. Does the book have anything about like physical location, or is it more like myth and legend type
So
talk? Like
there's a lot of like myth and legends. There's kind of a whole story about them, and the fact that they were 6 different artifacts, or they are. Everything talks in the present tense. They are 6 different artifacts.
okay, so nothing to imply that they've been destroyed.
No. But as you get to the end of the book, it talks about how they disappeared, and there's an addendum at the end to show that they'd been recovered, and that they were used. And as you flip over to that last page, Millet just kind of Millet.
Horse puns.
I know. She looks down and she just, oh yes, elements of harmony. Such a shame they were destroyed only a few years ago.
98. 99. So as Cal snaps mentally, lightning wreaths his form and his wings spread out farther than they ever have before. Level by level, all of the glass in the library shatters, cascading down the building, and Cal shoots out now one of the empty windows in the direction of the nearest mountain. Yes, Cal has electric wings. He's had these for a long time.
I remember. It's all coming back to me now. Yeah.
I don't Superman it. I have wings. And as he approaches like the nearest mountainous structure, he'll find any type of like cave entrance to get anywhere near minerals, to find something deep in the earth that is superconductive, and just start blowing stuff up by pumping it full of as much raw electricity as he physically can.
I'm going to say you head towards the quarry as the most likely place, and one of the 2 places you actually know the locations of on Equestria. And I mean, between the building, the fragments of bridge, the bits of ore that have been unearthed, go crazy.
There's also I don't have the ability to make this ruling, but if anyone wants to make an alertness check for me, they might hear him screaming like Vegeta on Planet Namek.
Rolling now.
I mean, I'm
15?
pretty close. So let's see.
I mean, look, it's loud.
I rolled a 15. So.
Turn your radio off.
Yeah, no, I've been off comms. Like, I turned off my comms.
Andronicus as well.
Yeah, wait, didn't he leave?
Not yet, no.
Oh no, they went to get Cup.
They're heading to the quarry where Cup is. Cup, who's just sitting there, kind of leaning back, watching this all unfold, and is just, ooh. Now that boy's got a temper.
There's like a Dyson sphere of electricity forming around Cal.
He's just like, can you hear that? As Kevin turns around, just like, I can taste that.
14 and 12.
So that's a 2 from Andronicus, so we can have a story point back. So that's
Yay.
No, the street samurai get a story point.
Next week, there's extra story point.
There's one
When I'm not
mystery
there to
story
use it.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did this come from?
So, okay. We're feeling extra lucky, but we don't know why.
The grid's being benevolent today.
14 for Sarah, 12 for Sonic.
I'm going to say the 14 and the 15, yep. The 2, definitely not. The 12, oh, there's a storm coming.
Because I was flying, the lightning wreathing off my body is affecting the clouds. I am actually creating a localized lightning storm.
You see lots of Pegasi taken off to the clouds, just trying to take care of the storm, and you hear them even as they're flying up to deal with this around Ponyville. It's just, we didn't bring any storm clouds in today. There's not supposed to be any rain or anything. It's supposed to be lovely and sunny.
Yeah, just me in a crater filling as many
What?
precious gems with lightning as possible.
Sarah looks out a window and like, huh? I'm surprised it took this long. He'll be fine. He just needs to go punch a mountain or something. Actually, Cal, you good? You need a hug?
I mean, Cal does not. Cal is off calm. Like he turned his stuff off.
Cal? All right. Well, I guess you're fine then. He'll be fine.
So yeah, localized lightning storm, approximately 50 feet from Cup.
Cup is just watching, and radios Ultra Magnus, Bumblebee, and Andronicus is just, lads, there's some localized bad weather. Everything's hunky dory. Just perhaps head into town, and I'll catch up with you a little bit later. I don't know about you, but I'd love to hear what you've been up to, and I'm sure you've got some time to listen to my reports from my last few missions. And then whilst Cal is just lightning storming everything,
Yeah.
we are going to we're gonna swap over to Andronicus first of all.
Okay.
As they arrive in Ponyville.
Okay.
It's just like changing character sheets quickly. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Yeah.
You see lots of ponies all around. You see flying ponies, Pegasi. You see some walking around. You see them with bags with food. They're at tables eating. It's just a whole town of ponies just living their lives. You also see a humanoid, Sarah, though you don't know her by name, of course, who in turn sees you as you walk into town next to Ultra Magnus, who's
Sarah.
very hard to miss. And
Sarah has
Bumblebee.
had an outfit change because we're in Ponyville and that's what they do here.
Shopping montage.
Exactly. Not even shopping. This is like, we're gonna make a dress for you. Yeah, all right.
Cultural exchange.
Yeah. And she's now wearing like a flowy black skirt with like pink flames and like a sort of tank toppy shirt with just a black with a pink phoenix. Like, this is delightful. I love this place.
Like Katniss Everpink.
Yeah. Well, hello there. Aren't you some large lads? You must be the cake I heard about. Just looking right at Andronicus.
So Andronicus will have shifted from technically Zord form down
Yeah.
to normal large size.
Yeah.
As they approach the town, so as not to terrify the pony population on approach. Yes, hello. I'm Andronicus, but you may call me Andy. And yes, we are quite large. You are correct.
I'm Sarah. I am the ambassador from Earth.
Are you though?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I called it first, so
Oh, I see. I licked it so it's mine defense. I'm familiar with one.
Just Sonic. Is that how it works? If I look at it's mine.
Sonic's
Oh,
just like,
hello.
I own so many cool things.
I'm literally queen.
Yeah. Did you where Pete? Where you at? Are you still at the Arch, Pete?
Yeah, still here at the moment.
All right.
So yeah, we came to go and pick up Cub. I think you might have met him. He's the one with the very, 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 very excruciatingly very long stories.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
we came to respond to his distress call, but it seems that that was a
Beat you to it.
little
Yep.
redundant. Yes. So we are now going to take him somewhere where he can't do any more boring damage. Home is the other word for that.
It's
There
okay,
All of the
bro. English is a second language.
the ponies visibly deflate because the ponies love Cup.
And hopefully that'll help to not leave this planet with the great big red target painted on it.
Hopefully, there's I don't know if anyone told y'all, but before he cowarded his way out, uh, Devastator, I think that's what they called him. He blew up a massive supply of interquan, no,
Energon.
that one. Yeah, it was a big hole boom.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I mean, I think there's probably more here somewhere. Like, if they mine that much, this is probably like a gold mine of energy for large robot people with great asses.
Not all of them have great asses. Believe me, I know I've looked. um, it's. I mean, I'm sure you were probably going to do something similar, but I'm fairly certain that Ultra Magnus is keen on making sure that the Decepticons can't come back after we leave.
Yeah,
Isn't that right, Ultra Magnus?
I would suggest burying the transwarp gate the moment we leave the planet.
Oh, but you call it an arch gate, which is a stretch, but yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. Is it like M shaped, like the McDonald's arch, or what?
No, no,
No, all right.
no. It's
Disappointing.
it's more like if you imagine an upside down half of a letter D with a bit missing, but at a jaunty angle. Inside his head, Andronicus is giggling like a loon.
Oh, I'm getting a headache. We're gonna stop. Um, Great. Yeah, I guess burying it seems that you catch that, Pete. Start digging.
Yeah, I reckon I can work something out.
I'll send you a shovel.
Andronicus goes, he'll work something out. Has he never encountered a shovel before?
Well, Pete's not thinking about literally burying it as such. Can I try and make it implode?
Transwarp
bad
it down itself.
Make me a technology check, please.
Yeah.
Peter's gonna blow up Equestria, and I'm gonna kill him.
It's fine. least Panic will be happy.
It would be a
Can't
grid
you?
law, just for the record, or grid
Pardon?
tech.
Pardon?
It would be grid tech, so you can use your specialization.
Oh, I assumed that already, mate. I was picking up all of my dice. I don't know what it is.
I don't have my Andronicus dice here.
18? Critical 18.
That would be a very, very bad idea.
Um,
Oh, well,
And
trying to make it implode on itself.
Yes.
People
On
try
a-
and figure out a safe way to destroy / shut down the gate.
on a technology check, which I just rolled the same for Andronicus, he got a critical 20.
Yeah, you could also tell, although, again, you call them transwarp gates, you use them for traveling between planets. Blowing one of them up, like, fantastic, but it would also take out the planet that it's on.
Effective.
Do the job.
People try and figure out a way to like just shut down the energy core for it.
Yeah, with Cassidy, 100%. Between the two of you working away at it, you're able to figure out. It's not too complicated. You've already used the gates before, the archers before, and Cassidy has got some insider information on the workings of them that she's able to help show you.
Sorry, I've got an idea in my head that's just a bit, but it's funny. Just before blowing it up, just quickly open a portal to Velocitron and it. Pete just sticks his head through to take a look and pops it back out again. Shut it down.
I mean, if you want to stick your head through and have a look at what Velocitron, you can do so.
No,
It's just
my luck, he'd
Devastator
stick his
with
head
a
out and get hit
ready
by
to
a car.
slap.
Is that hello? Vroom.
Devastator's been holding in action for like 4 hours.
Just waiting.
All of a sudden, the White Ranger becomes a very red smear.
But only from the shoulders up. He slapped the
sorry,
highlights
carry on.
out of her hair.
Well, I mean, I don't know if y'all like eat like pies and cakes and things, but there's a party. Like these ponies have decided to throw us a shindig, and I'm unbelievably excited.
Oh, like in the space battle film with the little fairy things.
Star Wars, yeah, that one, yeah.
Star what? No,
Wars.
space battle. Star Wars. Who would call a film Star
Oh right,
Wars?
yeah, you must be the one from the alternate reality, right?
Alternate your reality.
Cal,
Oh, yeah.
whilst this is going on, whilst this is taking place, can you just make me an alertness check, please?
Sure. God damn it.
Watch out for that
Critical
tree.
23. I like to think I've gained a sixth sense through my lightning. Not quite tactile, but anything that is around it, I can feel,
You
hear, I
feel
can
it.
feel, taste, smell. The lightning is an extension of my body.
Right, the plasma streamers that would
Yeah.
connect usually to create the strike.
I would also like to say that the lightning has gone from yellow to blue.
as you're just as this electricity is just coursing through you, through the ground, through the metal, everything, and you are getting this sense of feedback, you detect some, but not much. You detect traces of energon, enough to feed, power up the Autobots that are here for maybe a week, including vibe check. It seems like when Devastator blew up that huge supply that he'd assembled, he blew up most of the energon that was at least on this section of the planet.
and I found some more.
Yeah. Essentially what
And
they
I'm
hadn't finished excavating.
uh I do my best to rein myself in. Uh collapses to his knees, still like body racked with electricity as he closes the sphere in on himself to make sure he doesn't blow up whatever's left. Because Vibe Check is his friend, gosh darn it. Yeah, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna electrocute myself for a bit until I run out of steam. I think I'm gonna knock myself out.
You and your hobbies.
You hear the sound of machine metal parts moving, and then you see a knee and then a hand upon your shoulder, and you hear Cup's voice, and there's none of that, the storytelling or anything else. It actually sounds
Boosted.
a little bit almost fatherly, and it's okay, lad. We've all had moments where you do what you need to do, and I'll keep an eye out.
And then blissful unconsciousness.
He will pick Cal up, transform, so that Cal is sitting or laying across the chairs inside the cab of what is reminiscent of a pickup truck, just incredibly heavily armored, and then head back to Ponyville.
Great. Take him to the one place he doesn't want to be.
Exactly. He's gonna wake up surrounded by ponies and pie.
I'm gonna say that when I go unconscious this time, I am unconscious out of Ranger.
Oh,
I zapped the Ranger out of myself.
Matron.
just for anybody who can't see the chat when they're watching this later on, we now have two further ponies, twins named Pegasus and Pegastu.
Yeah, I'm a genius. Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna happen at some point.
Honestly, kind of BS that you didn't have to spend 1,800 on that. You only had to spend 900. Kind of a cop out.
That's kind of the point. That is only one NPC technically, so you can have Pegasus or Pegastu.
They act on the same turn, so that's why it only costs 900
Oh
points.
yeah, I want
It's
to
like
ask.
Flim and Flam.
Yeah.
Hey, for that
Or
other
Flotsam and
campaign,
Jetsam.
for that other campaign, can I play 2 characters?
Done.
The gate is closed now, so Pete and Cassidy and Q, if they so wish, are able to join the others in Ponyville too.
There's a
Yes.
second Ponyville. Sorry.
Ponyville 2.
Dude, Ponyville 2, it's better than
The
the first one.
Revenge.
Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah, can return to the Peeville.
Whoa.
You see the Transformers, you see Ultra Magnus, you see Bumblebee, you see Andronicus, you see Sarah dressed completely differently, and of course, because it's Sarah, no helmet, no armor.
Yeah, yeah.
But then she's on a completely different
Dress.
planet, so does it matter that, it's not like they know who she is?
I'm the
And
ambassador from Earth.
at the same time as you turn up, Cup also turns up, transforms back into his bot mode, and he's holding Cal. He's just he just needed a bit of a rest, and
He does
Visibly
that
smoking.
from time to time. Yeah. This one's a little extreme, but
he's okay, I think.
like look at like random pony number 7. Like, is there like a bed or something we could put him on for a while?
You see a pair of Pegasus, a pair of Pegasi move past. It's like, we'd let him have our bed, but of course ours is a cloud, and he'd just fall right through.
Can
That's
can
less than
Tlaloc
good. Yeah.
can Tlaloc come get me because he is sentient?
I will say Tlaloc can come get you, but at the same point, Vibe Check is coming down to the planet. So you've got Tlaloc and Vibe Check coming down. A few other
I mean,
humans from the crew who, now that everything is cleared,
Oh,
everything's
I'm
fine.
definitely bringing Kelsey down. Yeah,
Of course.
Kelsey has to see all of it. Yeah.
cool,
it's
we
just
can
turning
swap.
to
Send me back up.
Cal heads back up to the infirmary just to be checked out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'd like to say if any human makes contact with me, they get a little static electricity.
Just
You are Thor, Dog of Thunder.
and as everybody gathers in the main square of Ponyville, pies are being brought out on large tables. The pies themselves are particularly big.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the right moment in the description of the
Okay.
party.
The pies are being brought out. There's all different fruit pies. Apple seems to be the pie of the day, as it were. And you do see apple trees just everywhere and a huge orchard of them in a distance. So apples do seem to be very popular here at the very least. And just we have chairs. You can sit or you can stand. You do seem to be doing an awful lot of standing. In fact, I don't think I've seen you do any sitting, but the Queen has been alerted to what's gone on. She's coming down, but she has to travel with her guard, and she can't just come down here. But Spike's the dragon.
I can't wait.
He'll be
Peter,
here.
they use dragons for the mail.
There are dragons. Why has nobody told me there are dragons?
You were
Spike,
busy with the arts.
Did he not hear me? I just told him Spike the dragon. It's just.
I'm sorry, continue.
Are you too tall? Can you not hear me from up there? Do I need to speak louder?
We can hear you. You're okay.
His pony just pulls out a
Loudspeaker.
Megaphone.
Okay. I wanted to say megaphone, but then in my head it was loudspeaker, and I wasn't sure if there was a difference.
Loud phone.
Loud phone. She pulls out a loud phone and just starts talking through that. So, Spike the dragon will be joining us shortly, but for now we all have pies and, well, just mostly pies. We're having a bit of a celebration because today is Pie Day.
Can I summon my dragon?
I feel like every day is Pie Day here.
Your
But
dragon
I'm not
still
going to
needs
play.
to be checked out. You can summon
My
Brad.
little dragon. Yeah,
Brad.
yeah, my little dragon.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Brad's gonna come. He's gonna invite Brad down to come and meet an
Peter
actual
plays
dragon.
Brad in the face-up position.
It's like I have a dragon too. Well, kind of.
Our dragon's bigger and
Okay.
scalier, and it breathes fire. And I'm sorry, it breathes fire.
I do have a bigger one, but he's kind of a little tied up at the moment.
Nothing could
Well,
tie up
that
our dragon.
happens to everybody at some time. Or so I've heard.
He just kind of looks over at Andronicus a bit. Okay then.
And then Cutie Cut just goes, "This talking's boring me," and then whips out a horn, air horn, and smashes his hoof onto the top of it, and confetti cannons explode, and there's this massive like honk of horn sound, and then DJ jets appear, and music starts playing, and the party gets started.
I love it here so much. I found Kelsey. I found our vacation destination.
Do they have any kind of extreme sports, or just? I heard dragon, but
I
don't
haven't
think they
asked.
fight them or
Probably.
battle them, or They don't look like they have bicycles either.
But imagine the like mountain biking trails that had never been mountain biked.
You
Virgin
see,
trails.
like, she straightens up and she becomes so serious as she just gazes off into the distance at this mountain that's half of the top of
Anime
which is
eyes.
covered in snow. And it's just, you shall be mine.
Should I be jealous?
No, it's just a mountain. Don't be silly. It's just, you can come too,
Obviously.
but I'm getting to the
Somebody,
top first.
somebody has to roll down the mountain.
I'm not going to come and get you. I'm getting to the top of that mountain. I will be the first human to climb that mountain. I will have a flag made.
Cheating. Right. Yep.
Just wanted to get there and there'd be a flag up there already.
Steve was here. Like, who the hell is Steve?
The party in
So-
full swing. Oh, go on.
Andy, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about you and your world place that you are from.
Well, I am from a planet called Earth. You might know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of shitty. There's lots of very big companies and
Still pretty
not
similar,
a lot
yeah.
of love for people. So we have a lot of rogue AIs who are helping us help the people overthrow the companies
Oh.
and basically try and make the world a less a shitty place. It's not easy, and often we ask ourselves the questions: are we the bad guys?
Oh, well. Yeah, no, I get that. Are you a Power Ranger?
Do I still have a connection to Sam at this point? Yeah. Hello, Sam. Are you there?
There's like a sort of partition of sand that's just kind of hanging around with you. It's just yes.
Hello. Did you hear the question? Did you hear the question?
Yes.
What did
I
you
don't know
hear?
what Power Rangers are. I mean, the armor did have a designation. It was PR002. Maybe that
How
was
does
supposed to stand for.
like your suit like is sort of reminiscent of like I mean you definitely wear it better than most of us do, but
Well, I do not skip the leg day, you see.
so many squats.
Classic condition of the street samurai. We're all just too handsome.
Ding. So I think I'm probably a tulip by any other name.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Do they have giant war machines too? I appreciate you are a giant war machine, but the others have, like, the plane and the APC and the one of them kind of looks like a camper van, but it has guns and
No, the one that I saw, there was one that looked like a very big kitty cat, and there was one that looked a bit like a spaceship, and
I have a Phoenix.
she has a phoenix, and yeah, so no, I do not think they have the big warships like we have, or like I am. I'm
But
a
you know,
very big
a thing by
robot.
any other name. Like I mean we call ours Zords. I don't know. So
No, where I am from, a sword is a different thing.
all right. Wild.
This whole
is
time,
like-
Peter has just been standing there scanning Andronicus, just like, what are you?
This is what, two alternate realities we've been
Well,
encountered by now, Pete, right?
3?
3? Is it? I don't.
Meanwhile, over the other side of like the party, Q and Kyle are sat eating pie, just going. But have you seen that ass?
They're bonding over just how great Andy's ass is.
Have you seen that ass? You could bounce a coin off of that thing.
I F-bomb the coin. I want to bounce off that thing.
I mean, I think he's going to be leaving with those robots. I mean, I know we kind of have a robot, but ours is much smaller than this is. This is so much to take in sometimes. But have you seen that?
But have you
ass?
seen that? He's like, starting tomorrow, we need a whole new leg regime.
Yeah, we are not skipping leg day.
No, never mind leg day. We're adding an ass day.
There's
Agreed.
now an 8th day of the week.
Yeah, there's an extra workout day. Yeah.
Agreed.
I don't know how it would be possible, but Andronicus gets a message. It's like, hey Andy, hope you're doing all right. 08 ate enough Twinkies to put him into a coma, so we're currently dealing with that.
That's about right.
Miss you, XOXO. Why?
Oh, that's sweet.
Wow. All right. This is definitely weren't expecting any of this really. Like, so I guess what's our next step, guys? Like,
Well, I think. Sorry, who was that question to?
any
I couldn't
like
think of
everyone,
something to
anyone,
answer it in.
like the world at large. Like, what do we do next? I mean, we need to meet the queen, but like when we leave here, where are we going? What are we doing? Are we going to Velocitron? Do we need to do that? I don't think we do, but I wouldn't mind finishing off Devastator.
You might want to think twice before you go straight after him. He is formidable at the best
Is
of
he?
times.
We
When he's
disarmed him
on-
pretty quickly.
Yeah, but that was him with a couple of attachments on a planet very far away from any other Cybertronians. When he's on a planet surrounded by essentially disposable fodder that he will just throw at you like it was very explosive rocks, it might not end very well for you.
Fair.
It might not end very well for me, and I'm not so squishy.
Yeah, but I mean, just we've got this big space mission now, and like we had this distress call, and well, now what? Like we undistressed it. Do we have a plan? Q, do we have a plan?
He's like,
Have you
sorry, what?
seen the
Seen
ass?
that ass? Sorry, I was just trying to take in the view.
You're trying to what?
I don't know. We've kind of dealt with problem number the first.
Yeah.
And Q will radio the ship for any developments or
We went through all this trouble to get into space, and we
hot hooks or
we like went around the corner.
Everything's clear as far as we can see. No incoming ships, no incoming threats. Vibe check wants to check in with, he said, Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, send him on down.
he said that he'd have some intel. Maybe he could share threats, locations.
Right?
Well, is he on his way?
As far as I'm aware, he should already be on the planet. He came down just before Cal came up.
Okay, vibe check. Are you with
No,
us?
I think I hear him. Yeah, sound of motorcycle going like 200. Yep, there it is.
Meow.
Right.
You see him
No,
and
we're-
Bumblebee just racing like around Ponyville. Just
Pegasus and Pegasus 2 are just like
trying to keep
trying to
up.
keep up.
Yeah, some of the Pegasi, especially the I want to say the Wonderbolts, they're trying to keep up and race alongside them, but Vibe Check is fast. Bumblebee is fast, but Vibe Check is faster. And at certain points almost seems to be playing with Bumblebee. Like, come on, you can do it, and then just zooming off and slowing back down, or zooming off and slowing back down.
You can do better than that. Come on.
Yeah, come on. You know, like
Stop trying
that.
to hit me and hit me.
Yeah.
Off in the distance, you see Kevin and Peter tinkering. After a little time passes, you see Kevin just like zooming like up, coming up behind the two of them at the front of the race, like in a rocket-powered suit.
Oh God. Make me a technology check.
Yeah.
Rock
Make sure-
Pony.
All four
Yeah.
of Kevin's like going different directions at the same time.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Then Kevin goes,
Not grid tech though.
Not grid tech.
No.
Okay, 13.
He zooms off. The rockets do fire. They do work at first, and he does get that initial boost of speed. And then you hear a message from Combustion Kevin, who's just like, Pete, did we consider how to slow down or stop? I don't have any brakes, and I don't. And then you just hear like a great big smash, crash, bang, and then hay just explode everywhere.
As you hear Peter over the radio go, you weren't meant to go that fast.
And the rod cap just like spinning to a halt on the floor for no reason.
that sounded painful.
Well, at least it didn't explode.
Kevin just like, I'm okay.
Fire just
I now
not Kevin, just
understand
the hay,
why
just for the
white
record.
one only has one
Oh,
eye.
that's like, I got it. Brings a rain cloud.
Kevin pokes his head out of the hay and he is just missing an eyebrow.
Delightful.
Pete's eyes narrow.
Anyway, so vibe check.
Yeah.
Vibe Check will have some intel for you for the next session.
Okay.
We are going to end it shortly, but before we do,
Yes.
Yes.
Andronicus will call his new cluster of friends just off to one side for a moment. So I'm not going to be here with you for very much longer, and I very much get the feeling I'll be back in my own reality
Yeah.
at some point soon, where hopefully things will make more sense to my frankly aching brain, because talking flying ponies that can do magic, and they're
Isn't it great?
yeah, it's a lot. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having a very long sleep. But at least it's nice and warm. But I do have something for each of you. And he kind of turns around and then pulls like the magic sack out from nowhere.
Wait,
Magic sack.
what was there like when you talked to Santa, the Santa AI? Was there like an image? Did a little video pop up or anything, or was it just like did we see Santa?
I
that
don't
one
know,
I'll
Matt.
leave up to Jay.
Oh no.
It's all in your head.
Yeah, no, I'll say there was probably a little like
Little, yeah,
help me, Obi-Wan, you're our only hope.
Subtitle.
yeah, little, okay. Because
Little hollow emitter, yeah.
Sarah like does the math, like wild.
At some point, she's going to wake up. So because the one with the yellow has had to go for a power nap, vibe check. And he reaches in and pulls out a box. He goes, "This is for Cal, I think his name is."
Yeah.
Yeah. And hands him a box.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Andronicus. I'll give this
You
to...
may call me Andy.
Thanks, Andy. I didn't get you anything.
No, you are not meant to. You don't give gifts so that other people can get you gifts. You just give gifts because it's a nice thing to do.
Here's Santa Claus.
What you do is you find a way to pay it forwards. If you feel like you need to do something, then do something nice for another person or robot or pony or yeah.
Just reach over, just grab Pete. He's alternate reality Santa Claus.
I'm starting to get that myself, dude.
And then he reaches into his box and he goes into his bag. Cass, it pulls out a small box and goes, "Cass, this is for you. It's something that you can only use the one time. But if you put something into it and you think of somebody who's close to you, they will receive the thing that you have put into the box. But one time."
Sarah refrains making box comments.
Be very careful about what you put in your box. Peter, and he reaches in and he pulls out a very small box. He goes, "This one is for you."
Thank you.
And
Shakes it.
you don't hear anything.
What is it, if you don't mind me asking?
If you open it, what you will find inside is a black cube, bigger than a tennis ball, smaller than a softball. The sides are perfectly smooth, the edges are quite sharp and very defined. The material is something like you've not encountered before. It's kind of a very dark, very purple, spacey hue. And if you're trying to look into it, it's not that it reflects the light, but you can just kind of stare into it and you can't really see where the bottom is. And all 6 sides are the same. And it just has a label on the outside of the box that says, "You'll know when."
Okay. Again, I feel like I have to ask, what is
You'll know when.
You'll know. I mean, it's right there. So you'll know.
Bro, it's an infinity stone. Just put it away.
The very sexy
Void
paperweight
stone.
from my planet. Sarah, this one is for you.
Just rips open it immediately. What is?
And it is probably in the style of a 1960s maybe looking box. It just says disguise kit.
What?
Which has one use, and Matt will determine this, but it'll give you a usable bonus to infiltration, 2 upshifts to an infiltration roll of your choice.
Wild. All right.
Specifically
it
for
was
disguising
thematically
yourself as
appropriate.
somebody else.
Yeah.
Because heaven knows your secret identity is not.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And Q, yes. This one is for
Talk to
you.
yourself.
Anyway, I know. who knows what's going to happen voice-wise. And he reaches in and he pulls out a very long cylindrical gift, which is a golden spear with a bow stuck on it. And he goes, I think this is what you're going to need the most. And Q is now furnished with his power weapon.
Oh.
He looking under his helmet a little bit befuddled that he didn't get a sword. And got a cube. An innocuous cube. He's trying to run as many diagnostic tests as he can, just standing here on it. He can figure out nothing.
Nope, absolutely nothing. It resists all efforts to scan it. It's almost like it doesn't even exist. If it wasn't in your hands...
Peter,
I could just store this in the armor, can't I? Like,
you'll know when it's on the tag.
It does exactly what it says on the tin.
cool. I'll just kind of put it away in secret pocket in the armor.
And
Thank you for our gifts, Santa.
No, it's Andy.
I had, yeah, fair enough, Andy, but I don't know. You got a vibe.
on...
Can I
note
hug
then-
you?
Oh,
Yes, okay.
the group hug. Peter.
Yoink.
Q.
Cassie. Yoink.
Q
Group
goes into
Cal
hug and he's
laying in
just
his
like,
hospital bed just kind of feels like the heebie-jeebies all of a sudden, as if somebody was going to touch him.
Exactly.
I release more lightning.
Reaches for Cal, remembers he's not there.
Vibe check joins in the hug instead. It's just like,
It's
Yeah.
so he doesn't have any frame of reference for how weak or fragile humans are. He just squeezes so
Yeah.
hard.
Andronicus is absolutely fine, but the rest of you, it's not quite back-breaking,
it's
but
like
back
being squashed
adjusting.
between
Because
two
truly,
trash
if you
compactors.
think about it, vibe check's only like metric of measurement for what a human is capable of is when he was sparring with Cal, and Cal is nuts. Like,
With
Well,
vibe check was beating Cal's ass. Like severely, and Cal kept getting back up. So he was like, "The humans can take this naturally." Crush.
Andy, I hope we get to see you again someday. Maybe we'll pop into your reality. Who knows?
I do not recommend it. It is a crap place.
We are not hopping realities.
Well, you'll know when.
Everyone else gets to. When is it my turn? Like, come on.
Be very careful what you wish for.
the GM probably will say yes.
Oh, and he reaches into his sack one more time and pulls out a little envelope, and on it is written Kyle.
Oh.
And he hands that to Q to give to Kyle. And in it is exercise regime for ass day.
I was hoping for that workout regime. Yeah, as soon as you said car, I was like, workout.
Got to get that Deadpool booty.
Mm-hmm.
With all the gifts handed out with Equestria saved, question mark, with the Queen on her way, with pies being eaten, Ultra Magnus, Bumblebee and Vibe Check having a bit of a download upload information session, maybe literally. The night,
Just plug in each other's ports.
yeah.
In
night-
public?
I knew as soon as you said
thought
that, I
they
was
were
like, Jay's
roommates.
going to say something.
Fresh.
The night draws to a close, and so does this episode of Power Rangers Let There Be Thunder. But
Party in Ponyville.
Party in Pony, but that is the title of this episode. Of
Party on
yeah.
down in Pony Town.
Party. Before we go, as per usual, favorite scene for yourself, favorite scene for another player, and we will go with Q. Jay.
Oh,
Ah,
moment for me is a tricky one because I had too many to choose from because I was 3 people in this episode, which was
Well, let's be
2 people
clear.
and a pony.
Let's be clear. Andronicus carried. Nightmare didn't do nothing.
Oh no, he started a party. I'll have you know.
yeah.
But
He
yeah,
got the party started.
he's and he's not a person; he's a pony. But yeah, a pony, a Cybertronian, and a Power Ranger walk into a bar. Yeah. So yeah, Q didn't really do much. No, I think I quite enjoyed the moment with Q and Kyle over a pie, just like. But have you seen that app? That was
Amazing.
quite funny, and just Andronicus interacting with people in this universe, just fun. For another player, it was probably Cal in the library of Ponydom, just the whole repeat visits to that sequence. Yeah.
Just leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
Which part was your favorite? By the way, we never revisited her. How's the librarian?
Traumatized.
The librarian is now putting together a book on how to deal with Power Rangers, and rule number 1 for how to deal with Power Rangers is
No yellows.
no
Don't
yellows.
let them in the library.
And there's also now a sign outside the library that just says no
Power Rangers
yellow
allowed.
Rangers allowed.
Racist.
She's a bit shook up. All of her mane and her tail are all staticky and just poof. But she's hanging in there. She's a tough librarian. She's been through some stuff. That great book war of 62.
Ponies follow the Gregorian calendar?
I didn't say what 62. But as Jay mentioned, Cal, played by obviously our lovely friend Panic. Favorite moment for yourself, favorite moment for another player?
Getting to roll insanity check against my own willpower and cleverness. And and fighting for it. No, wait, hold on. Under is a success, over is a failure. Because, please, you know how hard it is to roll above a 17? 3 out of 20. My favorite scene for somebody else. I gotta say, the introductory scene of the Transformers to Peter, Q, and Cassie, where it's just like, I am the big boy, and I am Bumblebee, and I am Andronicus. How are you? My wife.
Michael, who plays Sarah.
I mean, yeah. Sarah had a blast. I gotta go. Living her Disney princess life is just
With
great.
Singing flying ponies.
Singing fly pony, yeah. There were probably like 7 song and dance numbers we didn't see.
Was this Sarah's Once More with Feeling?
Like, yeah. And being the official ambassador from Earth because I called it first.
Oh, I licked it so it's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that because I can just literally picture Sonic Serenade in the background. It's just like, I have licked so much cool stuff. Yes.
If I lick someone from Earth, do I own Earth?
Just starts licking the dirt. It's like, I licked Earth.
And for someone else, I mean, the Andy of it all was just so much cake, so much bouncing off that
All the
cake.
cake. Did you see that ass?
Did you see that ass?
Just...
I ain't never seen an ass like that.
Even Sarah's like, damn. That's an ass.
It's like prodding Kelsey. It's just like, because just
like we need to have
Say
an
every
ass
day
day
he be
too.
lifting it up. Shake that ass of me. Come on, shake that ass of me. Oh yeah, shake that ass of me.
It's that, or
It's just to be a group workout. We're all doing ass day.
we all need to start hitting the gym more just to prepare for Power Rangers stuff.
Power Rangers, let there be ass.
Is the next episode going to begin with this like Sarah and Kelsey going to the gym on the ship, and in there is already Kyle and Andronicus doing the ass workout, and then it's like legs, bums, and tums, but it's just like bums, bums, and bums. And then Peter comes in a couple of minutes later and finds everybody doing it, and then Kyle comes in and everybody's doing it, and then Cassie comes in and everybody's doing it.
We got to get cake. Last but not least, then Michael, who plays Peter.
Hello. For me, it was probably that last little bit I did where you indulged me and let me do rocket propelled Kevin. Thank you.
You can't beat the OG vibe check supremacy.
Yeah, vibe checks just boom.
For someone else, it does. No, going with everyone else, it does have to be the Andronicus of it all, but also just Sarah's sheer just wonderment at the entirety of poniness.
Everybody else seemed to deal with it really well, other than, of course, Cal, who was just like
personal hell.
Yeah.
It's a mental breakdown.
Everybody else was just like, this is normal. And Sarah's like, oh my God, there's ponies and they fly and they talk and they sing and they're moving the clouds and now there's a rainbow.
I mean, Matt did point out in chat right at the end of the game that in Andronicus's universe, there is a TV series and film of Pony Team 6. I'm just like, I forgot all of that. God damn it.
And you were there and you were there.
Now, do you think that's a coincidence, or do you think whoever wrote the movie script had visited our universe and met Team 6?
Maybe Andronicus is going to travel back in time.
Write all of those.
Write the script based on
We don't
that.
do time travel. The only people allowed to do time travel are the Time Rangers, wherever they are. God rest their hearts.
Lost in time. They're never coming back. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Thank you much to the lovely players who got crazy with it as per usual. Sorry, Cal. Sorry, Panic. We're still on Equestria, but we will leave next session, I promise.
Bro, I can't wait to not be here for the first half of next session because Cal is canonically unconscious.
Yeah, he's just like...
I mean,
he's just twitching in a hospital bed, vaguely giving off static.
Well, at least this time we don't have to carry your body around.
Yeah.
Weekend at Murders, yeah.
Yeah, we have grunts to do that for us now.
Weekend at Bob's.
Man, only Vibe Check's the only one who can carry me. I shock everyone else. I put a shock to their system.
Roll system shock.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Look at
and
you, hacker.
May the
Pony protect you.
May the pony cake pie power protect you.
Okay, that's too much.
Yeah.
How about
Well,
that?
something can protect you.
May your ass be fat, may your protection be fatter.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.